On September the 4th, 1967, in the early hours of the morning, a groundsman at a golf course in Bromley made a startling discovery. Lying on the ground of the 18th fairway was what appeared to be an alien spacecraft. By mid-afternoon, 5 more UFOs had been discovered right across the south of England. This sensational story immediately hit the headlines.
Cleveland, Somerset. It might have been that the Martians had landed. The police were taking no chances.
The Ministry of Defence official line has always been to downplay the existence of UFOs. But behind closed doors, the Ministry's response was rather different. John Keeling is the author of How Big Are Little Green Men and has interviewed retired MOD agents in charge on the day.
The Defence Intelligence Staff had one officer who was responsible for investigating UFOs on the part of the MOD, and he'd been told by his wing commander that at least 3 flying saucers had landed and were on the ground, to which he said, "Expletive, what shall we do now?" As one of those officers said to me, there wasn't a manual for in case of alien invasion.
One was taken away by RAF helicopter, another blown up by the army, and one even found its way onto a police sergeant's desk.
They didn't realise that when they put it down, it had this bleeping mechanism in. When it came to rest and started screeching at them, they were literally fighting each other to get out of the door.
Then came the moment of truth. It was a hoax.
Chris Southall from Clacton in Essex was one of the original hoaxers behind the stunt and had no idea how much attention it would attract from the military.
We were apprentices at the Royal Aircraft Establishment, and every year we had a rag to raise money for charity, and the more publicity we could get, the more money we raised.
What sort of trouble did you get into with the authorities?
Well, we got away with it. Things were more relaxed in those days. There were no terrorists and all that.
You designed the flying saucer, and this is the design you chose.
Yep. They had a little electronic circuit inside that was activated when we turned the saucers over.
If we were to pick it up and turn it over, it makes a strange noise.
We also put about half a hundredweight of rancid flour and water paste inside every one, which smells revolting.
I don't know quite what it is. It's some sort of strange, sticky, gluey substance.
By today's standards, these may appear quite rudimentary fakes, but at the time, the MOD considered them a real threat. Recent documents released under the Official Secrets Act by David Clarke from the National Archives now reveal that key defence officials at the time were more concerned about the threat of UFOs than the government was letting on.
Lord Mountbatten, who was the Chief of Defence Staff in the 1950s, Lord Hill Norton, who was CDS in the 1970s, they were both believers in flying saucers from outer space.
So you're telling me the man who was the Chief of the Defence Staff only a few years after these hoax sightings actually believed in UFOs himself?
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt about it. And that the government knew all about this and it had been covered up. After retirement, they came out and said very clearly, you know, that they think that this is a subject that the government should have been taken seriously.
Following his retirement, Lord Hill Norton bombarded Parliament with letters demanding more information regarding the government's involvement with UFOs. And what's the position today?
The Ministry of Defence have said on the record in 2009 that they're no longer interested in this subject. They have an open mind about aliens, but they've never, in 50 years of gathering all these sighting reports, they've never found any evidence of any kind of defence threat. So they decided now's the time to close down the X-Files.
And if I see a flying saucer today, what do I do about it?
Don't tell the Ministry of Defence because they're not interested.
Back in 1967, the government told us it didn't believe in UFOs. But when 6 flying saucers landed, the Ministry of Defence came running. And it's clear that some of the top brass of the time really did believe in aliens. Whatever next?